Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, let's get into some charts, everybody. Just start it out. So we'll see if we get something. I know it's Monday. Not gonna try to rush anything, you know. We don't have news today, so I'm not really trying to push anything, not trying to expect anything to happen. If something does set up, I'll take it. But if it's not clear to me, I'm obviously not going to take it. So let's get into this. All right, all right, all right. Let's go to regular NQ. There we go. Should be up. We should be good. Connection's good. All right. Let's get into it. So yeah, here we go. We got the NASDAQ market here. So we traded down on Friday, then we consolidated, and then we started to move our way up here through Sunday. So we have the new week opening gap down here. So we closed here Friday. We opened up here on Sunday. So it's a new week opening gap. And then we came in, we filled in that gap, and then we started trading away from this area. And now we're coming up to and through in this entire range. Where was London? London was over here. We pulled back, and then we continued up in the pre-New York. Rejected here, continued higher. We kept closing bullish. Nothing that I really like in here. I wouldn't even have taken, probably wouldn't even have taken anything in here unless I was trading London. Sweep this low. So the plan is liquidity to higher time frame PD array, and then you get in sync with order flow, which should be up within here. So yeah, above this inversion, I mean, maybe on a 2-minute, you close this inversion here, right at this area. Yeah, so I probably would have actually taken this trade from here, taken it to this high, and then we'll see how high it goes from there. But obviously it's way up here. But we shifted higher, used the NWOG, go higher, came back down, used the NWOG again, and then we just shift higher. We got this in the line of fire here, these highs up there. But as you can tell, we actually came up and we shifted. We used this NWOG here as well, and then we just continued to shift higher. So here we go, here we go, here we go. Let's see what we get here. So yeah, we didn't even pull down into that gap when we did that. So yeah, we have more SMT, lower low, hit the order block here. We're probably gonna keep moving higher up towards this high now, up within there. So I would say we're gonna use this 15-second discount to work our way up higher there. But I'm not trading this. This isn't high probability right now. I think I need some more information before I really want to pull the trigger on anything. So I'm gonna keep waiting there. But like I said with the morning video, that I'm looking for higher pricing. We have this opening range gap up here that we're about to tap into, so that's gonna possibly play a factor into there. But I wouldn't mind seeing it trade back down at some point today and into here to go higher, or even just hit this high and then we get something that pulls back down into here. But we're getting a lot of bullish movement, so I don't know if that's gonna happen or not. It's getting very strong. 4 hours getting very strong. We're gonna close in about 19 minutes. Coinbase, Bitcoin, huh? We'll see here. Like I'm kind of liking Bitcoin right now. I'm gonna go side by side with Ethereum. So take everything off the chart. Let me just really start to look what we got here. Coming down to the rejection block on Ethereum. But we start to go down to like a 12-hour. We just inverse this 12-hour. And notice how we're even coming down below this low. We're getting SMT in these wicks now. And that's telling me the price might be ready to go higher. So we'll see what happens here. So now we have SMT at these lows. I'm actually going to take this fib off. I'll take this off here. I'm not taking anything yet in the indices anyway. Sell side. So now we're getting SMT at these wicks here. So we got SMT with Ethereum. It's just more bullish order flow. Post this on Twitter. So Ethereum's crossing. I believe, was that the rejection block? No, not yet. Come on. What? Noise to me drinking a coffee, by the way. Just making a X post right now. Really not in sync with this order flow. Not liking where we are. Not even trying to take... I wouldn't even want to take anything in this right now. Even if we get a shift in market structure, it still doesn't look the best. Need to get one more coffee, I think. We'll see. We'll see what price does now. We just hit this high. We hit the higher time frame liquidity. And we hit this opening range, 50% of the opening range. It looks like we're going to pull back a little bit. 15-second time frame. We have an inversion level here. I'm not trading the 15-second. I'll tell you that right now. But I would expect price to close right there and then trade lower. I'll take a paper short, but I'm not going to take a full short on an actual position. But I could expect this to keep going lower. Not come back up above that 15-minute or whatever, 15-second, or even 50% of this range here. We'll leave it as that. So we took that potential short there just for internal liquidity. Look how we're already hitting these lows, and then it's about to come back. So my rules would say move it to break even. That's why I don't take these smaller time frame trades. But I'll have stop rate above that 15-second level there. So about to be partials if we were actually to take this trade fully. Got to be partials right there. Start to be going to break even now. Partials would be taken. Boom, just like that. Might go lower. Might not go lower. It's going deep now. So we're hitting it. Liquidity over here deeply. We're hitting this area. So I would expect it to pull back in. So just close the rest of that. That's just a little scalp for a short there. Not an A+ trade setup, so that's why I wouldn't take it on my other accounts. But yeah, but you can see the whole point of that one. We hit the high, SMT, inversion the 15-second, take the trade, close the trade. You know, pretty simple, no big deal. Take the trade, and then we're golden. Boom, comes right back. That's exactly why I closed it, you know? Yeah, it looks like this is going to continue to short down now. I'm okay with not being in it. I'd rather watch this 3-minute inversion down here. This 5-minute fair value gap, too. Just want to keep watching how price plays out within this area up here. There's no rush to get into anything. I'll be right back. I got to fill up my coffee. Hello guys, I'm back. I'm back. Good morning. Sorry, I just got back. I was grabbing another coffee. Alright, so let's see what we get here. Yeah, so basically already this morning I was looking at this high that was up within here. Up within this range, we hit this high, and then we ended up having SMT. So notice how we're making the lower high here on ES, but higher high on NQ. And then I was looking at this 15-second time frame as this candle inverse this fair value gap here. So I was looking at this fair value gap, and as soon as we inverse this gap, which was this closure, so we retraced here. I took 2 paper trades there, and then we came down towards this low, which I closed them. The reason I didn't take that on an eval or a live is because it's not A+. I mean, we already hit the high, and overall I am bullish. I would need to see more market structure for me to want to take that. So until you can realize that as like a trader, then you get a lot more to learn. So being able to sit out, even though you might know what's going to happen next, you got to know what trades are the best for taking them on your accounts. So yeah, I'm looking to take something if it shows up and it's nice, but if not, I'll just stay on the sidelines. But we do have these relative equal lows down here. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing price come back down into these relative equal lows. We have the opening range from today too. This is the previous one here. But here's 50% of this opening range today, which would be this box. I want to pay attention to what we get down in this area. We could probably close this one out. We don't need that one. There's too much on the screen. This one here is good enough. So we have this open and this close. So that's the opening range. So yeah, we want to pay attention to that there. Took a few trades last week. We had, I think we had, can't remember exactly, but they're my notes. But we had a break even. We had a partial. If I was a little bit more like conservative, I guess, if I took partials on one of the days instead of letting it hit break even, I would have passed this other account here. So a few hundred away from passing it. So if there's a trade set up, I'll take it. But if not, I'm not gonna take anything here. But yeah, I notice how we're hitting this fair value gap and we're staying lower here. Yeah, I would still expect this just to short down. Because we just bounce out this fair value gap here. Yeah, and we're coming higher up above this high. So yeah, and we're already bearish. For possible bearish leg down now, we in versus 5 minute on YM. Let's get this off the damn screen. So this is actually pretty decent. I know I was just talking, but there's that fair value gap there. And we ended up trading down from that. That wouldn't be a terrible setup, honestly. I used to have NQ on this side. There we go, that's better. So let's see. We haven't hit the opening range yet, so we'll see if we get back down into there. I think it's possible to. Same here with ES. I know I have these relative equal highs. We could hit there at some point. Maybe we trade back into this opening range first. I'd be interested in taking a long if we get down below this opening range and then we get a setup later. Yeah, notice how we're playing this fair value gap here again. So it's probably going to use this 30-second fair value gap to keep sending price down lower. We're going to do a 5-second. We inverse this 5-second time frame, and then we ended up moving down lower. We got a 5-second here. Notice how we just inverse that. We'll see if this 5-second fair value gap sends price lower down below this low. Yes, it just did. I'm gonna hit the lower. Probably gonna pull back a little bit. So we'll see how price actually continues here. Okay, let's see you. So we got got a few seconds left here. So we did not inverse this 3-minute yet. I know we just closed the 3-minute, but we did not inverse that. Pulling back up above this high, and we're instantly rejecting that high there. So it's a good sign for bearish continuation. Inverses 15-second after taking out this short-term high. So does this high stay intact now? That's the question. Does this high stay intact here now? As we continue lower down into this range. Not super convinced on it, but it's possible. We got another minute 30. If we inverse this 9-minute, that's actually a good sign for a sell-off. All right, go lay down. Go lay down. Tess, lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Sorry, I'm talking to my dogs. Tess, lay down. Tess. Alright. So I did not take that trade. I don't want to take a trade that deep and do like a discount anyway. Be nice to see some type of retracement possibly and then a move up. So we did not inverse that 9-minute either. So I expected on a Monday, might just get some chop. Might not be that great of a setup anywhere. Came up above these highs. Came up above these highs. YM. Did we even hit the highs on YM? Yeah, we hit the highs on YM too. So yeah, we hit buy side, but just depends now. What do we get? Question is, do we get a continuation or do we actually reverse and come back into the opening range? gun to my head, we're gonna pull back into this range, consolidate some more, and then start to shift lower. Maybe we get some type of SMT as well. Yeah, it's the nature of trading, guys. It can just be boring. You know, I kind of expect it to be boring today. Not really much movement. Which is okay. So we're rejecting this new week opening gap up here. Let's go to all three now. Yeah, we're still ripping higher there. We start making a higher high here into this range. That order block. We're making a lower high here. And now we're just retesting. That's making me think that we're gonna still hold this high and we're gonna short from here. I'm not gonna short it because like I don't like the conditions. That's what it's making me think. We filled in this for value gap equally. So if price was moving like it normally does, this trade should short down towards these lows. I'm not taking the risk on it. I don't think it's that nice, to be honest. So I'm going to sit out on it, but I'm going to observe to see if this actually does play out or not. And there we go. We're about to hit. Yeah, that's what I did not want to see. If you're going to short down. But like it's such a blessing to be able to know when to get in, when not to get in. You know, and it only comes with time and experience. Oh man. I'm tired today. Let's see what we get. Continue to get a push higher here. We inverse this 30-second right about. So that candle here did inverse that 30-second. And I started moving up higher from there. Let's do a side by side. Lower low, higher low. 9-minute never inverse, so maybe we just go higher. Which it did. You know, we inverse that 30-second. We rip this high here, actually. And we might rip up to here. We might actually go hit that high again on one of these. Looks like ES will hit the high, so like this would hypothetically, let's say hypothetically we took this. We didn't, obviously. But we go to this high here. Or at least until this high is hit on ES. Market's just kind of slow this morning, as expected. We go over to the news. There's nothing here. So there's no news today. And it's a Monday. So I was actually debating not even streaming today, but we got this. Tuesday. Medium impact, so it might not be that great either. But Wednesday afternoon should be good. Thursday should be good. And possibly Friday. I'm not trading Friday. I'll be in New York City, but yeah, Friday it should all should be good. Besides today should be shot, and then tomorrow too. But the rest should be pretty good. Wednesday morning's gonna suck too, but Wednesday afternoon will be better. So yeah, we had that 10 a.m. reversal macro going on. So we're moving up higher. We're just hitting these highs here in ES. Watching Bitcoin too. I wonder if we're gonna reverse and go higher here. It might. Very much might. We have SMT. Alright, so we have a higher high here on ES, lower high on NQ. So if I was in this trade, I'd be closing this out right now because we just hit that high. So we're watching this. I was actually looking for the possible short to keep going down below these lows into the opening range, but we actually did not inverse the 9-minute. At the same time, we had bullish SMT, so lower low, higher low. I was looking for the short here, but at the same time, we did have the bullish SMT. We had an inversion level if we broke this, which we did. The inversion was on the 32nd. You can see how the lower low is here, higher low is here as well. Then we have the 32nd inverse here. We closed up above this, but at the same time, I was expecting a possible short from here because we had SMT over here, but price just wanted to keep moving higher within here, and then move up into this range. There we go. Bitcoin's moving up. Like I just said, I'm like, let's see if Bitcoin starts moving up from here. We just inversed this area in the 3-minute, so I'd actually expect this to continue up from here. So I'd expect Bitcoin to keep going higher from this area up to these highs, up to about 70K probably. Somewhere up within here, you know. This is pretty reasonable, in my opinion. Nice 8R right there. This is kind of what I'm looking at. So we just inverse this 1 minute after taking out this high. We have SMT. So I'm watching this here. And no, that's not 1 minute. That's 32nd. My bad. Because we never hit the opening range. You know, this is like really what I'm paying attention to. We never came down into this opening range. We opened here, but we never came back down into it. Since we have SMT at the highs now, does that mean we're going to short from here? I don't want to do this. I just don't like it that much, but this is possible to play out. Down to here. At least to here, this for value gap. So that'd be a 1-to-1. So if you're risking 400, you make 400. So it'd be like right to here. This fair value gap down here. So we'll see if that gets met. There you go. That's about it right there. Yeah, so that inverse did play out. So that would be a win right there. And then possibly lower down within here. Down within the opening range. Something like that. Like I said, I'm not the... This isn't my favorite setup. We got a 2-minute inversion here. Well, fair value gap. We'll see if this inverses this 2-minute or not. Nice, man. Nice. Nice, nice. How you doing? I honestly would like the short, too. I would like the short. It's just not A+ to me. We got this fair value gap in the 2-minute. It's not clearly one-sided to me yet. You get this 15-minute order block here. So I don't know if this order block wants to... If it wants to pull back more, I want to see how this order block plays. We also had this 15-minute just open. We didn't even really pull back down, so... We could go higher here and then just start selling off soon. So that could just sell off and leave a wick here at the high. It's a new 15-minute candle. 30 minutes bullish. If we go to 30-minute on all these, we hit the high. We get a lower high there. Lower high here after hitting liquidity. Yeah, we have a higher high here now on the 1-minute wick. Yeah, this is likely to rip down. Looks like it's going to short down from here. Thanks, man. Have fun in the meeting. We inverse the ES right here. Just did not inverse NQ yet. And it's still stalling. Yeah, I definitely like how we just closed here. This looks bearish. We open with a bearish volume imbalance. We're retesting it. We're probably going to keep selling off now. See what happens here on Bitcoin. We hit this high, now we're pulling back down. So that is a bearish sign. I'm not trying to get stuck in the lower time frame, so I want to stick to what we got here. We're back up above this NWOG on the regular NQ. Pulling back into this for a value gap on YM, and we're continuing higher. We inverse this 5-minute after coming down to this low, hitting this order block. So maybe this shit does continue. But we have another higher high here, another lower high here. Check this 4-hour time frame because we closed bullish, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. It's going to be kind of hard to counter that. Tess, lay down. Sorry about that. Dealing with a dog. One more second. I'm back. Sorry about that. Just watching how we're closing here. 3-minute time frame closed bullish there. Bullish SMT at these lows and this fair value gap. We never hit this 9-minute fair value gap yet on any of these, so I want to pay attention to this 9-minute fair value gap. It's really not the best price action, honestly. It's kind of being indecisive up here. Looks like ES wants to keep going bullish. You know, we got these equal highs up here that we could reach for. That are up within here. You know? Looks like we could be reaching for those equal highs that are up within there on the opening range. If it really wants to rip up today. You know? That's if it wants to keep going bullish. Very much possible. 3-minute close very bullish on ES too. We got higher high, lower high. I'm liking this pullback that we're seeing. We'll see how this actually acts. Do we inverse this 9-minute and go lower, or we just tap it and then possibly continue up higher? Notice how we still didn't even hit that low down there. Would have loved to see the 9-minute hit that low right there, but it didn't. Keep moving bullish. About to close in 24 seconds, so we'll see how bullish this actually closes here. So this might actually be a Six Sister approach. So we get this bullish closure. we could possibly, this could possibly turn into a six sister. Which it looks like it's going to. We close here, retest. I say we go higher just from here. Just based on that closure, I would say 50% of this wick should hold if we're going to keep going higher. I'm not taking it because we just took out that high. But if it was to keep going higher from here as a six sister approach, which it looks like it is, I would say we should stay up above this 50% of this wick. And then we should continue from here. That's if we're going to keep going higher. Just like that, baby. Just like that, baby. I'm not taking this on a live. This is not my trading plan. But it's valid. It's valid just based on like my experience and what I've seen so far. But yeah, this is a nice little play here. Looking for the run up into these highs. If that does play out. Yeah, that was based on a 5-minute time frame closure there. Very bullish, up above 50% of this wick here. We closed here, the six sister approach where they all made that high. So we could look for that continuation up now. We got a high there. So I'm actually going to take one off here. And then when we get up to that high there on ES as well. That's if we get up there. So let's see how we close here. We got this breaker. Honestly, it could pull right back down. So we got this 1 minute now. I would pay attention to that 1 minute fair value gap that we have here. So we're hitting this 1 minute fair value gap now. We'll say about 50% of this fair value gap here. So measure this out. So that would fall right in line with this. This should be a breakaway gap now, so stop would go right about here. So we shouldn't come down into there if we're going to continue bullish. So I'd say anything's fair game within here now. But now that we're seeing this, I honestly don't want to see it come back down into this range if we close this. Otherwise, we can just consolidate in here some more. I want to see this close up above the opening range, like up here. We didn't get that, so let's see if it wants to pull back down into this range some more. Another minute 45 in this 5-minute candle. I'd like to still see this close bullish, like this. Because if you go to like NQ, like look at that. That's a bullish 4-minute closure. That looks good as fuck. So I would say this is good and set for continuation up. Tapping this fair value gap on a 2-minute. I would say we're still going to continue from here. I would say this low should stay intact now. We shouldn't come back up above this low. So I'm going to move the stop to in profit now, right about here. So I would say we could even take another position here, stop here, if we really wanted to. This isn't chasing the trade. This is monitoring order flow based on SMT. So we could take a trade to here. So it'd be like a 2R. And then we could possibly go to that high that I'm looking at up here. But to close most of the trade is when ES either hits this high or NQ hits a high. But gun to my head, we're ripping up to this high now. Up next. 5-minute. Did we close yet? No. I want to see it close up above this opening range. If it does not, that's a lot riskier for this position. Which a break even might get hit here. Call it stop profit, whatever you want to call it. If it does, and then it continues higher, then it's just a learning lesson, you know? So we just hit the break even. Now it can still continue up higher. Like I said, this is the gap that should hold. Let's see, if we get more SMT. Let's see here. I would say this, I don't think I should break that low again. So pull back just for that 5-minute closure. Still, I want to monitor this. That was just a paper anyway. That's still not A+. But I took that trade anyway, just based on this 5-minute closure up above 50% of this wick here. Looking for expansion higher, which it's doing. Yeah, I'm gonna keep monitoring price. Just waiting to see what happens. So yeah, we're coming back down into this fair value gap again. We're staying higher here right now. So I want to see how this fair value gap reacts on price action. All right, crypto's falling down. So I didn't get what I expected there. So yeah, now we have this 2-minute. So I'm gonna close all this, move all this over. So obviously I didn't want to expand, like that's the nature of trading. Like it's all if thens, what's the highest probability, you know? And obviously we hit higher time frame liquidity here. Let's go to these. We all hit higher time frame liquidity. Maybe it starts shorting now. If we inverse this 2-minute, which we just did not, we just did not inverse it. We inversed it over here on ES. Actually, we did not. Wow. Looks like we did. So now we want to watch, do we go back towards these equal lows for continuation higher, or do we just continue to reject here? There's still not enough information in my opinion for any type of setup yet. We still never even inverse this 1-minute yet. We got this 30-second fair value gap. Does this reject price, or does it come back up and inverse this and continue higher? What's it do? That's the real question now. We've just been so bullish, and it's kind of hard not to stick with this trend here, you know? This could just be a regular pullback. But we do have a lot of liquidity to the downside. If it longs now, I don't think it's A+. And if it shorts, I don't think it's A+ either. So just wait on more information up in here. I'm just watching to see what we get in this discount now. What's happening to these lows? Are we going to inverse one of these? We're going to inverse this 1-minute and go higher. We're going to reject it and go lower. Like that's kind of like what I'm paying attention to now. Like, what's the narrative in this price action? And the question is, do we reject here, or do we continue to follow suit and inverse this and keep going lower towards these relative equal lows that are sitting here? Because as you can tell, there's a lot of stop orders down there. So a lot of people are long from this morning. So where are the stops at? Would it be down here? Hence is why I moved this to break even earlier when I was on the paper trade, because I think there was more of a probability that we could continue lower if it didn't, like, that area where I had my stop loss should not have been hit if we're going to keep going bullish, is what I'm trying to say. So now we're just indecisive. It doesn't really know where it wants to go. Gun to my head, we're coming towards these lows now. We inverse this 1-minute now. We're rejecting this 1-minute here, so we just got to see if this inverses now. The 2-minute was now inversed. So gun to my head, this is probably what we're going to see. You stop here, going to this low here. Gun to my head, that's what we're probably going to get, okay? We shouldn't even come up above this high now, honestly. If you really think about it, we should stay below this. This is what we should get here at this point. I'm just not liking the conditions, to be honest. But I'll take another paper on this one. Gun in my head, we're hitting this low. Do one more contract on that. Buy limits. Next one. Down there. Honestly, that's not too bad. 12 points. We'll see. I'll take some trades on this one. Might get stopped out. I mean, that's fine. Market's not the best. You can see it's very choppy right now. So we'll see how it plays out. I know the conditions aren't the best, so I'm not really too worried. Yeah, we're hitting this low now. SMT. Yeah, we might come back for this internal high up there. Yeah, it looks like we're going to come back for it. That's fine. If we hit that internal high, we might just, which would be the stop loss. I would just wait for more information, honestly. If we leave this high up here, we could reach up a little bit more. Up and in there, I'm probably going to get hit out here. It's all right. I just took that based on that inversion set up here on the 2 minute. So we inverse that 2 minute, and I was thinking we should possibly keep moving down now. So now we're hitting the high here on YM. Yeah, I should have broke even that when we hit this high here. I mean, hit this low. Yeah, because we just hit... Oh, we didn't even hit a stop yet. We're close. We're probably going to hit the stop, though. Because we just inverse that 30-second now, too, right here. Now we're probably going to rip up. That's all good. Like I was saying, this market is just fucking choppy right now. I'm not really liking this. There we go, hit out. Because we got these equal lows down here. I would be interested. Let's see if it rips up to this high once more. And then we get an inversion and take down lower. It's kind of looking like that's what it wants to do. Because right now, as you can tell, it's just coming higher. Just respecting these PD arrays. And just like really just chopping around. So let's see what happens here. I'll take one more trade if there's something good later. Yeah, because that 15-minute close really bullish too. Just we never came down to that order block. Yeah, it was only a $100 loss. That's funny. I think my stop was just too tight on that one. Because we shouldn't see it close up above this 2 minute. Which this trade would still be valid. It's just choppy as fuck. Let's see what DXY is doing here. Yeah, because DXY is obviously moving bullish. Probably going to hit this high up within here on DXY. This might even be a continuation. I don't know. We never hit this low, though. It'd be nice if it hit that low and then we shifted up. We broke higher using these breakers now. Possibly move higher. So it move us lower here. It should. If they're going to be in sync together. Now look at this. We're moving lower here on Dow. We're moving higher here on NQ. We just inverse this 1 minute time. This 1 minute for value gap. So does this now cause price to keep going higher now? It's like, I know I'm going back and forth, but price keeps telling me things that are different. Gun to my head, we're going to use this inversion now to go long. And not come back down below this. Reach up to here. And to here. But like I said, price is choppy as fuck right now. So it's not great conditions. You know, like these areas are not being respected like they should be. So knowing when to sit out is like more important than like taking anything. And like right now, from my experience, is the time to sit out. And like I knew that before even getting on the charts today. So that trade I just took isn't even that big of a deal. Like I had a small risk on it. What was it, like 10 points, 12 points or whatever? It's like $100 loss, but like it was worth the risk to me to make 300. This now, I don't want to flip the direction just because I had the loss. You know, like we're making a lower high here, higher high here, so price is not in sync. I'm bullish here in the dollar. I know we just took out this high, we can pull back, but it's obviously looking like it's going to go bullish still. Like the trend is bullish, like we can keep ripping up. So I don't really want to go against that because we should be going down if that's going higher, but this is obviously not doing that. So conditions are not in my favor today. Or they will be later in the week. And I mean, if there's something good, then I'll take it. You know, it's maybe I'll take, instead of a mini, 5 contracts on a micro, I'll take 1 contract on a mini. It's like so much more leverage on that. If there's a better setup. If it closes bullish again, we're probably going to go higher. We got a macro starting in about 7 minutes, so we'll see where we are in about 7 minutes from now. We'll see if this continues higher or not. Just chopping around, that's what we can expect on a Monday. A Monday with no news. Expect chop and not good price action. Let's see what we get. So higher time frame, what are we seeing? We're seeing the 30-minute close very bullish. Above this 30-minute inversion for value gap that we have here. 1 hour time frame, we got 15 minutes until that closes. We'd want to see that close up above this 1 hour inversion if we're going to continue to go bullish here. We could use that as support if that does happen. So closes here, retest the inversion, which is this gap. continue up towards these highs here. That's what I see there. Kind of like this one. Notice how we closed up on this candle, closed this 1 hour inversion, and then we continued up towards these highs. Same thing here. If we close this inversion, I want to see if it wants to continue towards these highs. You know? Very, very, very simple. So, higher time frame took liquidity, shifted higher, looking for a continuation up. Not that complicated. I'm bullish, and I said I was looking for a short. I mean, that's my first mistake right here. But in the lower time frame, it looked like that was setting up for that lower time frame short. So we're about to actually, yeah, no, we closed that with a wick there. Okay, we're finally hitting a 9-minute low, which is this on YM, which is a good sign. Yeah, this is just garbage price action. This is like garbage. Like, look at this. It just goes up, bullish shortfall, retest, go higher. Doesn't even hit any liquidity. Pulls back down into the range. Goes higher, hits this liquidity. Doesn't even hit the higher time frame one. Pulls back down into the range. Like, why? Like, this ain't even worth taking the risk now. Taking that short, I felt was worth it because we hit higher time frame liquidity here. We had SMT. We had relative equal lows. We had an inversion. We had SMT in these wicks here. Okay. And clear draw on liquidity, you know? Like, that was valid in my opinion if price was ready to expand. So it was right after the 10:30. So I was expecting 10:30 to really just start sending us down towards these relative lows liquidity level. So took the trade and ended up not playing out. I mean, that's okay. It happens sometimes. I already knew the conditions were shit, so I could expect less anyway. So no hard feelings. Notice how we still never hit this high, and we're just pulling back again. So, I mean, I'm happy I took that trade. That was worth the loss. I mean, you'll be able to take losses to be able to enjoy the wins. As expected, this chop. We had that early morning win up here too on the paper. I didn't take it on the eval. Just it was too early for me. Not that it wasn't too early. It was just wasn't that clear. We had the 1 minute inversion. We retested it, but we took out this internal low. It's kind of choppy, you know. You can tell how it's just choppy. It's like barcoded price action here. Trade down into this discount. See higher here. In this discount here. We got these relative equal highs up there. So if we inverse this 30-second, we're going to do it here sooner. I was going to say, if we inverse this 30-second here, this wouldn't be a bad long to go up. I know our macro is about to start. But I also wouldn't want to see this high hit yet. There's some real shitty price action too. I wouldn't even want to take that. This price action is just so bad. Yep, exactly. Exactly why I'm not taking that. We didn't even close for confirmation anyway. So highest probability, what would I want to see right now? Possibly a sell-off back down into these relative equal lows that we have here in the 1 minute. And then we see what we get if we get down in here. You know, like what do we get in price action here? You know, do we hit these lows and then come back up, hit the highs and give us something better like this to like trade down to these lows? Or does it just sell off towards these lows here, maybe do something like this, and then we go up for these highs? That'd be the best situation, like either or. We just gotta wait on the good price action, you know? We just inverse this 1 minute here. So that's a bearish sign, but like based on what price has been doing, it's not respecting anything. So even though I would expect this to be a short, going to these lows, price action, the conditions are just shitty. But I know we're in our macro now. But notice I have higher high here, lower low here. Might not be the best situation, you know? So honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if this goes up higher and just smokes these highs one more time. This price action is just garbage. Because like it's not surprising we could inverse this 30-second rip to these highs, but then we just left all these equal lows here. So it didn't even really hit liquidity. Yes, we hit this low, but we didn't hit these lows. But these lows do look suspect down here. Especially with that closure. If we're going lower, we shouldn't hit this high. We should just trade down from here. But like I said, I'm not taking anything. These conditions are shit, but I wouldn't be surprised if we rip this low down to these equal lows down here. Just something like this. Because look at this fair value gap we just reacted off of. You know? Like this is bearish. We hit these highs, so we had 1, 2, 3. Hit the rejection block. We shifted. Now we just hit these relative equal lows. These three. Left this one. Now we're pulling back. Like I said, conditions are terrible. Just gonna keep observing this here. Three-minute, very bearish closure. I like that. For continuation down. So if you're in this trade, I'd move it to break even. Because we're coming back to 50% of this wick again. We just hit that 50%. We're moving higher here too. We hit these lows. Because look at the conditions. Like, we come up, we hit this high, we pull back. So does that mean we hit this low, and then we pull back in and go higher? We don't know. Like, we hit this internal high here, we pull right back in. We hit this high here, we pull right back in. Like, it's just not moving. And like, it just takes experience to really understand the conditions you're in and the emotions that can arise in those conditions. Like in my journal, I have like a whole thing on fear. Let me find this real quick. My fear mapping. So like level 1 of fear. Is this even the right decision? Like that's when you're questioning yourself. Level 5 is like, why are these trades going against me? Why am I scared of this consolidation? You're wanting to break even ASAP. Level 10 is like tunnel vision, not thinking where the draw on liquidity is or my system. So that's really levels of fear that you can have. And then maybe actually bring it back over. You can see here, what conditions are we in? You know, that's another question. And then what level of fear is it? So the conditions here, entering this trade that I had this whatever 10-point loss on, whatever it is, targeting these equal lows. I followed my trading plan, but I got to realize that we are in shitty conditions. We already expected today to be trash. Okay? Like, you can literally tell when conditions are going to be good, and you can plan your life around good opportunities. Today, right here, trash conditions. Tomorrow, trash conditions because of NFP. Not NFP, FOMC. So, Monday trash, Tuesday trash, Wednesday morning trash, Wednesday afternoon A+. So, working from, let's say, 1:30 p.m. till 4 p.m. on Wednesday, and then working the morning session of Thursday, which looks pretty good, and then working after 10 a.m. on Friday, looks pretty good. So, literally Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and just skip Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday morning. You know, like, you already know when your conditions are going to be good. Like, yeah, it's really all I got to focus on. Like, look at this. We hit the low. Look at this shit. Like, is this something you really want to be in and risk your account on? Like, that's why I didn't take another trade here. I was expecting this to go lower, but this is why I didn't take another trade here, because this trade in good conditions should have left the station towards these lows. It should have. It had all the confirmations for this trading plan. So I can't get emotional over this. Let's actually go over to the actual loss. So where was it? Right here? To right here. Okay, 13 points, whatever. This should have went to here, down to here. And then we go to the 9-minute. Down into here. And then we have the opening range we're looking at, where we never tapped into the opening range. Okay, and that opening range, as you can tell, is right here. So that should have moved down to there. And it probably will. Okay? And it probably will. But it's not. It's honestly not worth it. Because look, we didn't even hit the liquidity and we start trading away. And we hit this low and we pull right back in. And now it's just chopping. And we're in our macro. Like, we should be moving right now, but we're just chopping. Because of the news. We have no news. And because it's Monday. So, that's why I didn't take another trade on this. Even though we could expect this after I said this 1-minute closure there, after rejecting this fair value gap, to move down lower. And even above here. Like, even this little bit of risk, risking 6 points, isn't even worth it. Isn't even worth it. Like, we don't need to trade this, you know? Like, this doesn't need to be taken, because if we need to take a trade, then we're straight up gamblers. I mean, I only feel like gambling my accounts in crypto, you know? Like, I don't know about you. But, that's about it. We'll see. We'll see how this plays out, because we could still inverse this here and go higher. I mean, it's not great conditions here. But we keep going back to the higher time frame. Like, what are we getting here in the higher time frame? We're hitting these highs. We're consolidating. Does it reject this order block here in the 15-minute to go higher? Or does it not? Trying to get a good feel of where we are now in price action. Because we're about to have the 11 o'clock open. We're obviously moving higher here. We hit the low. We have bullish SMT, so higher low here, lower low here. Let's go to that inversion again. If it leaves with speed and displacement, we have equal highs up here. We hit this internal low. We're back to this order block again. It doesn't need to come all the way to these lows. But the speed and displacement could give us something. Get this high here on YM. Get these equal highs here on ES that we haven't hit. Get the wick up there with no, well, a candle with no wick on it up there. So I want to pay attention to this 1 minute for value gap here. If this inverses, I want to see what happens to it. But like I said, you could expect less in conditions like this. I know we just hit liquidity here. So let's see what happens. We got 9 more minutes in this macro, so we'll see what happens in the next 9 minutes. So we got this 1 minute for value gap down here now. So let's see if we come down and reject that and go higher, or if it wants to inverse this and keep going lower. Oh, PayPal? What's PayPal doing? Let's go, PayPal. Damn it. Damn, Joe. Ripping. Alright, so yeah, we inverse that 1 minute after hitting this high. Look how we left these equal highs. This is such garbage price action, guys. Holy fuck. It's just hilarious to watch this shit. Now we got this range here. You can put this in. Do we get down into this low and then lower? It's possible after we're seeing all this. This is just straight up garbage. Like, we just left all these equal highs up here, and now we're trading lower. And it's like, I wouldn't want to take trades on any of this. Even if it goes to the lows and me not being in it, that's fine. So I'm taking that high as we're staying lower here. Yeah, not great conditions, guys. I'm not taking anything else for today. I'm just gonna leave it simple. A $100 loss, whatever it was, 139. Leave it simple. We'll make it back next week, you know? It's one trade. I'll look for one trade on, not next week, NFP, or FOMC. I'll look for one trade on FOMC. If it's 20 points, let's do this. If it's about like 12 points, I'll do an NQ contract, and then if it goes 40 points, it'll pass the account. Okay. If it hits stop loss, then No big deal. Let's look for the next trade after that. It's really not a big deal. There's always setups that are valid in here. But yeah, now we just hit these relative equal lows. We're about to hit 50%. What happens now? That's up to these market gods here. Look at that. Higher high, lower high. Trading down into this discount here. If we're going to stick with this bullish order flow, we should react off this 15-minute with a nice rejection over the next 9 minutes. That's if it wants to. Or if it wants to keep going bearish, it looks like it might want to. And that's what's going to happen. So okay, here we had this 1 hour inversion right here. So let's watch this 1 hour inversion actually. Do we get back up above this? Let's see. So we hit 50% of this range. We have bullish SMT now. Let's see what I actually get. I would want along this 30-second fair value gap here. I just know the conditions are so bad, dude. It's like I don't want to take it either. I'll paper it. I'll paper it. The conditions are just so fucking bad. A 1-to-1 would be... right here. So 2 contracts would come off right here. I'd say we can get up there. Next contract can come off up here. Oh my god, we're about to get a win on this one. It's just so shitty, dude. This price action's so bad. We hit the internal high, so we gotta move it to break even. Are we gonna hit it? Hit the 1-to-1? Oh, you're right there. You basically did hit it. It basically did hit it. So basically that was a win right there. This is so stupid. See what I mean? You see why I took this? We took out these equal lows that we were looking at for the short earlier. And then we immediately inverse the lower time frame. We're about to hit it now. We immediately inverse the lower time frame. And, yep, there we go. We just hit it. Boom, 300. I'm gonna take another one off up here. No, I'm not taking another one off till we hit these highs up there. Be over here. But anyways, made a lower low here. Notice how we made the higher low over here, lower low here, and we hit the 50% in this discount. So I was watching this discount here. So it's allowed me to take this 30-second trade here. That was risky as fuck. I mean, honestly, taking this trade, yeah, just a little scalp, nothing crazy. Let's see if it wants to continue up higher again. We poke this high, I'll take one more off. And I'll let the last one go. Yeah, if we poke this high once more. The sell limit right there. Or the break even, one or the other. It don't matter. Smoke that bitch. Boom, break even. Yeah, bad conditions. You can only know like experience, honestly. We can still rip up to the moon. Up to here. Up to these highs. It's still possible. I mean, ideally the stop loss should be down below this inversion still. So a 5-point risk. So like that trade could still be open right now. But just based on the conditions we're in, I don't even care. Not even on a paper account. So just gonna wait and see. I'm gonna hop off now. It's after the macro time frame. I got more stuff to do that's more important than sitting here. But take it easy, guys. Love you all.